Hello, people of purpose, person of purpose. My name is Torrie, and I am a certified life coach. And on this channel, this podcast, this internet show, I share how I clarify, organize, and prepare with God. Let me help you cop your purpose. This is week 4 of our 12-week series dealing with arrogance and pride. It is also the end of May. My gosh, I had to make a lot of changes and a huge pivot. I believe we can clarify by looking at our behavior. We can organize by reviewing our language, both verbal and nonverbal. And we can prepare by taking that knowledge to move forward, because the information, the intel that we've gathered about ourselves is growing our emotional intelligence. Today, and going along with the theme of this week, we're talking about how COVID-19 changed our lives in some way. I will share with you my experience of how I clarified, organized, and prepared with God to step back into normal as we resume life under the umbrella of social distancing, panic, and aggressive sanitation. Clarity. The reality of COVID-19 literally hit home because our oldest son, Caleb, was in East Africa when this news hit. They had to cut their trip short because the borders were being closed, flights were being canceled, things were being grounded, and all efforts and taking extreme measures to stop the spread of the coronavirus. And of course, as a parent being here and not able to do much, what I knew I could do was pray. When he did return, we went to visit him in Blacksburg because his roommates, because this was spring break, his roommates were not there, so he was able to self-quarantine. And I just want to share with you that experience, because if any of you all are mothers, you're going to already understand the amount of restraint that the Holy Spirit convicted me of in that moment. We go to his apartment and he does not allow us to come in. We talk to him through the sliding glass door. And I agreed. He was right. No, he was not displaying any symptoms, and he is still continuing to be healthy. However, he wanted to take that precaution and keep us safe because that was how he was showing love to us. Organization. I organized because I did not allow my emotions to dictate my actions. I could see my son. I knew he was safe. He was standing up. He looked healthy. He was speaking, and all mental facilities seemed to be in order. So I could take all of that information in and give a virtual hug, even though we were standing literally 6 feet apart with some glass in between us. And I just thank God for that, because that also made my prayer life change. If I was willing to do all of this, seeing my child come back from overseas, knowing that he was safe, and the first thing I wanted to do was wrap my arms around him and give him a big hug and kiss and do all of that, to restrain myself from doing so at that particular point, my prayer became, I pray that all people can exercise this restraint so that we can stop the spread of this, and that we as Christians, being on the forefront, should be able to do so. Preparation. So our home life did not change all that much because I already work from home and we have a homeschooler. So things didn't necessarily have to be flipped upside down. And I know for some of you as families, that's exactly what happened. And believe me, I prayed for you to have that clarity, the patience that it took to have these little ones sitting at your dining room table, taking their classes, probably answering some questions about math and social studies, history, geography, or statistics. Bless your hearts. I was praying for you. But our life really didn't change that much outside of needing to accommodate Caleb as he came home to take his online classes. So the office space had to shift. If you were like me, you had a 2020 vision at the end of 2019, and all of that got Yes, I had plans. Yes, there were things I wanted to do. Yes, I had my calendar written down in ink. Moment of silence for the ink in my planner that I now use sticky notes on because I know things may change. But in all honesty, I learned so much. I learned to pray more effectively and more fervently because I knew that life as we knew it is no longer going to be the same. I am grateful that God placed a desire in my heart to do all things unto Him. I erased my planner. I started over. I started sticking in Post-it notes, and I prepared with God. I said, God, the plans have changed. You've changed the plans, Lord. Tell me what I need to do now. How do I still move forward with the purpose that you've given me? Grab your notebooks, your journals, whatever it is that you've been using to write with, and let's make a list of all the things, all the positive things that COVID-19 has taught you outside of washing your hands. And if you hadn't been doing so, hey, add it to the list. What have you been able to add to your resume, to your arsenal of skills? What are those things? Get your notebooks out and really get clear, get organized with all the things that you have learned how to do since the onset of this virus. Now, here's your coaching session for this week, how you're going to clarify, organize, and prepare with God. Now, after you've made that list of all the things that COVID-19 has taught you or what you were able to do in this time frame, I want you to think about how you expressed arrogance in a negative way, but also maybe in a healthy way. Take those moments and ask God, what can you continue to learn from it? This is CE, y'all. We are continuing education, okay? The preparation part for this week is you pausing and listening for God's direction and what He wants you to do with everything that you have learned. Clarify, organize, prepare. I know you didn't think I forgot. Last week I issued a 7-day challenge. Remember that? And I asked you all to take 15 minutes at the beginning of your day or right before you went to bed, depending on your schedules, to plan with God, to pull out your notebooks and your calendars and ask God, how can I help someone? Who can I help? And what is my resource or tool that I can use that's already within me, that gift that you have given me? How can I use that to better someone else's life? The main focus that I wanted you to take away from last week was that 15 minutes. If you made it longer, fantastic. What did you learn? Let us know. What did you learn? These next 7 days, the same thing. I'm going to come back in next week and I'm going to ask you, were you able to spend that 15 minutes with God, planning out your day, organizing your thoughts, getting clarity on your assignment? Were you able to do that? Next 7 days, bring in a friend, bring in a family member, have someone else hold you accountable. Thank you so much for joining me for this week. So on tomorrow's podcast, it's going to be a kind of a collaboration, some stories. I'm listening to you. I have some fantastic people of purpose who are going to join me on the podcast. They submitted their audio and they will answer the question, how has COVID-19 changed my life? Yesterday on Our Given Purpose, the podcast, I hope that you had a chance to listen to Derek Preston, The Pressed On. Such an incredible talent, his spoken word. Please go in and check that out if you have not done so already. And if you have and you enjoyed it, please share it. It's easy to link it to your page, put it as a post or a story, tweet it. I would greatly appreciate it if you would do so and continue spreading the word of our stories and, of course, this ministry as a whole. Are you looking for more purpose in your life? Are you looking for something to do outside of seeing this show? Then I invite you to listen to Our Given Purpose, the podcast. An announcement. Married ladies, if you're a woman and you're married, I invite you to join our exclusive Facebook group, Married Influencers with Purpose. I will leave the link everywhere that it needs to be on the platform that you're watching it. And of course, you can get to it from Our Given Purpose. You can just click on groups and it will be there. Thank you so much for being here on this Wednesday at noon. I am Torrie, and you have just watched Talking on Purpose with Torrie, the internet show. See you next week.